Getting your first tattoo can be both exciting and scary. So here's a few tips on what to do and what to look out for. Fundamentally, number one is always be aware of the health and safety and competence of the person doing the tattoo. I would say artists, but some people get tattooed by friends who have got a machine off eBay. I get it, I do, but you want my advice? I don't suggest that. I suggest that you find a reputable studio, or at least an artist that you've seen their work, that you trust, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with blood, we're dealing with needles, there are lots of things you could contract, you can get infections and diseases. I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, but in case you didn't know, it's dangerous. Secondly, size and placement of your first tattoo. Now, this is going to be, there'll be lots of different opinions, okay? It's my opinion that you should, I think it's wise to dabble. Okay, maybe start smaller than going to get your hands, neck and face done. Okay, personally, I will not tattoo your hands, face or neck if it's your first tattoo. Okay, it's not that it's my job to play God, it's from an integrity place. I think it's highly likely that you might regret that in the future. If you start by getting some other tattoos first, then down the line it's something we could talk about. Just my personal values and integrity on that one. Some people may do it. I just urge you to consider how you're going to feel about this in the next 10, 20, even 30 years time. It's hard to know, okay? I've had tattoos done 15 years ago that I do regret now, some I don't. It's a personal thing, okay? But my suggestion is to consider it, think about it, and maybe start in places above the sleeves and below the neckline would be my suggestion. Now, in a lot of tattoo studios, a lot of artists, myself included, would want to try and make the tattoo that you've decided on bigger. Okay, generally I like big tattoos. You can get more detail in and sometimes they fit better depending on placement. Now, depending on which studio you go to, just be careful with this, okay? I've been there myself before I used to be a tattoo artist, where I've been into studios. The artists can be intimidating, they can roll their eyes, they can lose their patience with you and pressure you into getting something you don't want to get done. Now, not always. Some artists genuinely think this is the best way for it to be. However, bottom line, it is your skin and your money. Bottom line, ultimately it's not worth getting. I would walk out and leave if you feel that pressured. If an artist has to pressure you that much, there's an issue. By this point they've probably already got the hump with you. So how much passion and effort they're going to put into the tattoo. It's not a good sign for me. If they're not listening, if they're not going with it, I wouldn't go there. I would walk out, and yes, you might lose some money, but you know, I wouldn't get it done. Okay, that said, it is important to listen to your eyes. If you've done your research and found a guy, a lady that you respect them as an artist and you like their work, you do need to listen because they're the artist. But ultimately there needs to be a compromise or an agreement between the two of you. As I say, every case will be individual. Research. Do some research, okay? A tattoo will bond you forever. I know you know this, but research your artist. Research the studio. I always look, when we're looking for new artists, I think consistency is super important. Anyone can show you their best work, but how are they like on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, right? Always look for consistency. High standards should be constant. I know everybody has a bad day, but in tattooing, even if you have a bad day mentally, the product, the standard has to be consistent. It has to always be of a high quality. You put your stuff to the side, okay? Look for consistency. Ultimately, the best recommendation is being able to actually see some work on somebody's skin. However, if a friend does recommend you a studio, I still suggest that you research it yourself because their taste isn't always your taste. So do some research, check out people's websites, their Instagrams, their Facebooks, maybe call them, go in, just get a feel for how they work, and if you like that, that's great. If you don't, move on. Prepare. Prepare yourself for the tattoo for the day, okay? So eat breakfast, for example, because you need to be a bit aware of low blood sugar levels and things. Now, a lot of tattoo artists can try and scare you about the day, which I've never really understood, but it's really not that bad. If it was that bad, you wouldn't get people getting covered, okay? Yes, there's pain, but it's not really pain as such. It's more annoying. So prepare for the day. Most studios should supply you with some advice or information for how you should prepare before the day. You know, again, it's common sense, but get that information. Ask the studio, have they got information? If they're not giving it to you, again, for me, that's a red flag. They should provide you with information as to how you should prepare. Do not drink alcohol the night before. Do not drink alcohol on the day. You know, if you're not feeling particularly well, or really, really unwell, should I say, you know, these things, every studio should supply you with their way that you prepare for the day. Check out that advice. Aftercare, how you look after your tattoo after it's been done. Again, this is, everybody has their opinion, so ultimately I believe that you should trust your artist and studio for the advice they give you on how to look after your tattoo. They should be giving you that information after your tattoo's done. We do with all our clients. All our clients get sent information before about how to prepare, and information after as to how they look after their tattoo. If you want to know more about getting tattooed by one of our artists at Monumental, check out our website, www.monumentalinc.co.uk. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and Pinterest.